What's up, boys? So I already did a video about how PlayStation fanboys were upset about Elden Ring overshadowing Horizon Forbidden West. And you know, of course, PlayStation fanboys would be upset they're pathetic losers who have nothing better to do with their lives to spend all day on Twitter arguing about why PlayStation makes better games than any other gaming company. So them being upset about something as dumb as review scores on Metacritic would make sense, right? But for some reason, PlayStation developers, people who actually make PlayStation exclusive games, are also upset about Elden Ring's review score and also started complaining about it on Twitter and on YouTube.
The fact that hashtag Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game UI. My life is a lie.
Yeah, your life is a lie. I went to your account and obviously this guy, deleted the tweet and locked his profile, but whatever. I can still see the games that you worked on, the games you designed UI for. And I didn't even know that games like Horizon Zero Dawn and fucking Battlefield needed UI designer. The UI of those games are the same as so many fucking other games. How does Horizon Zero Dawn's UI differ from Assassin's Creed or Far Cry? It literally doesn't. This guy's just pissed off that somebody else actually did a good job at his job, because he is shit.
Nor PC graphics stability and performance, apparently. Nor quest design, really.
Now these two people are also developers at PlayStation, and they're also mad that people made a better game than they did. The man here, I guess, is a quest designer for the Horizon series, and he's obviously mad because his idea of a quest is someone walking towards a quest marker and then interacting with like NPC and then walking towards another quest marker. And the woman who complained about Elden Ring's graphics is obviously upset that this game, that really Elden Ring's graphics aren't very great, but clearly she's upset that even though this game doesn't have good graphics, it's still getting better reviews than anything she's ever made. Which is probably because people don't really give a shit about graphics, people care about gameplay when they're, playing a video game. Honestly, I'm kinda ashamed both these people live in the Netherlands, and that's like my country. So it's kinda sad that this is the best my country can do when it comes to video games. Although they both live in Amsterdam, so I'm not sure if they're actually Dutch, or they're just one of those people who lives in Amsterdam and refuses to learn the Dutch language. It's kind of annoying. Can't even speak my own language in the capital of my country anymore. It's great. Love doing that. No offense to Amsterdam though. Amsterdam is a great city. Anyway, these weren't the only PlayStation developers upset about the Elden Ring review scores. Retired PlayStation developer David Jaffe is also very upset about it. Now David Jaffe is very well known for being retarded and having shit takes when it comes to video games. But anyway, let's watch his 9-minute video anyway, shall we?
The Elden Ring scores are stupid, and if you're a journalist or a reviewer, they're dangerous to your career and your profession. Right now, what are we looking at? 97. Yesterday it was 98. It'll probably drop a little bit more, but currently sitting at one of the best rated games of all time. And look, I've been playing it nonstop. I adore it. I think it's fucking phenomenal. I loved Bloodborne. I love the tone and the setting so far of Bloodborne more. But I'm loving this game. I plan on living in this world all weekend and for a very long time to come. I think it's just phenomenal and excellent.
Okay, cool, but what's the problem then? If the game is phenomenal, not just like the game's great and I like it. No, it's phenomenal, I love it, and I plan to live in this world for a long time. So what's the problem with the high review score then?
Listen, Metacritic. I love this fucking game. Okay, it's excellent, but it is, forget that it's really buggy, and I'm playing it on PS5, so I haven't seen lots of bugs, but. And you guys know me, man. I'll play games that, I love the 8-bit retro stuff. Anything, gameplay is gameplay. But this is horseshit because the game, if nothing else, it does not, excuse me, fellas, it does not, and Fleddies, of course, it does not compare favorably to modern games when it comes to visuals. It simply doesn't. It looks like a generation PS4 game.
Okay, but like, who cares? Do you really think that visuals are like a determining factor in how good a game is? And you already said earlier that you supposedly don't care, so why does it matter if this game looks not up to standard? Like, I understand that every game comes out today, right? In this current era and looks like Fallout New Vegas, for example. Love Fallout New Vegas, but the game looks like shit. Then yes, that would be quite a problem, I'd say. Unless it's as good as Fallout New Vegas. But then still, it would still kind of be a problem. But this game, they're not like awful. The visuals aren't bad, they're not great, but they're good enough. And the game, it's a Souls-like game, so it's about the gameplay. I would understand if this was like some walking simulator story-driven game, like, I don't know, Detroit Become Human. That at that point it might matter what the game looks like, but it really doesn't matter in this case at all.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of what was the BioWare one? Inquisition, Quest, the goddamn, they're making a new one. The Inquisition with the guy with the green shit's coming through, the Dragon Age Inquisition. Great game. It kind of looks like that, a little bit better than that, like 25% better. And I'm just like, when you have game, and again, I don't like Horizon all that much. I think the dinosaur fighting is great, and I think it is absolutely staggering to look at once you get into the open world, not at the beginning. When you have a game that looks like Horizon, or Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and you're not calling this out, not everything has to be a great looking game.
Well, apparently it does, because, you're complaining about it. You're complaining about how this game isn't up to standards, and then saying, not every game has to be a great-looking game, but compared to these PlayStation games, it looks like shit, so that's bad, and therefore the game doesn't deserve as high of a review score as it is getting. But you definitely don't care about visuals, right? And you definitely don't need every game to look a visual masterpiece, right? But you're still sitting there saying all those things and then complaining that the game doesn't look good enough and therefore it should get lower reviews.
But this looks substandard. It's, and the audio is not great either in this game. I'm not a big audiophile, but you play Horizon, and you have your headphones on, and it meaningfully contribute.
My guy, can this guy name like any game or compare Elden Ring to any game that isn't PlayStation exclusive? The only game I've heard him compare it to that isn't PlayStation exclusive is Dragon Age Inquisition, and it took him like fucking 5 minutes to figure out the name of that game.
To the sense of immersion in the space, the nuance, the detail of the sort of audioscape, as they call it, is just an important heavy lifter in making you feel immersed.
Guy says that Elden Ring is so great he wants to live in its world for the next couple of weeks. Guy then proceeds to complain that the world isn't immersive enough. Okay. Like, how the fuck are you gonna sit there, say, oh, this game is so great, I want to live in its world, and then, like, 5 minutes later complain about how the world isn't immersive because the audio is not up to par.
Both visual and audio on this really fall down in that, which is really a shame given how evocative and immersive and just incredibly lived in and detailed the Bloodborne universe is. You would think, and it's clearly a money thing. I don't think they're sitting there going, we think it looks fucking awesome.
The fuck you talking about, man? Bloodborne looks like shit. Like, visually, it looks like a PS3 game on a PS4, and it runs at like 30 FPS. It's technically, Bloodborne is garbage. Gameplay-wise, it's great. I also think it's funny that the game, in the Souls game that he keeps comparing Elden Ring to and keeps saying that it's better than Elden Ring, is Bloodborne, the only Souls game that's exclusive to PlayStation.
Jaffe, you're a moron. And the art design is great. I'm not bitching about the monster design and stuff. I'm talking about the actual quality of the visuals. Maybe Bandai Namco didn't want to pay what Sony did. Maybe Sony gets in there. I know Sony gets in there with their developers and is very hands-on and helps when they need it.
Yeah, man. Suck that Sony cock. Suck that Sony cock. You don't even work for the company anymore. You've got no stake in this battle at all, but suck that Sony dick. It's still funny to me. Because, like, he's like, Sony really gets in there and helps developers out. Bloodborne looked awful and ran at like 30 to 20 FPS. So if that's how well Sony helps out, then God help its developers.
But there's no way that the guys at From Software are looking at Elden Ring going, we did it, boys. This is top of the food chain production value. It absolutely is not. It's a ridiculous concept. And so if you want to give this a 97 fun factor like GamePro used to do, 100%. If this is your kind of game and it's my kind of game these days, fuck yeah. It's delightful. It could very well end up being one of the best games ever made.
But it sucks because the sound isn't good enough and the visuals are kind of bad. It's so fucking dumb. Who cares about sound and visuals? The only time I care about sound and visuals is if they're so incredibly bad, it's actually bothersome. But if it's just slightly worse than like what is expected, you think I give a fuck? No. And neither should anybody else. Like, okay, well, if you purely play video games for the visuals, fine. It's a very boring way to play video games, but whatever, that's you. But if you play games for like the gameplay, then why the fuck do you care if the graphics are a little bit worse than what is expected? It's so sad to me that like fucking PlayStation developers are now actually getting into like console war shit. Like I distinctly remember PlayStation fanboys getting mad at Xbox for being in on the console wars because like some guy changed his profile picture to Crash Bandicoot. But these PlayStation developers are like actively trying to defend their games because another game overshadowed them. It's so fucking pathetic. But anyway, boys, this is the end of the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I've got some different content coming up as well that isn't PlayStation fanboy shit. But yeah, goodbye.